Hey, and welcome to Mike and the Triple G. So, the other day I was on my way out of town, right? And I met this old timer named Walt. And, I was like, oh, I'm kind of in a hurry. I need to get on. I need, keep moving here. And then I started talking to him, and I was like, hey, Walt, you want to be on YouTube? So, this is a story about Walt. Now, I've realized that a lot of people get that curveball in their life, and that's when they decide they're going to try something new. And in our case, that's being a nomad, right? So that's exactly what happened to him. I'm going to let him describe his story, but he got that detour in life, and he was like, oh, I've always been thinking about, doing this nomad thing. There's been people, I've been watching them. Everyone's doing it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And here we are 5 years later. So anybody can do this, right? So let's jump right in and let's talk to Walt. Hey, Walt, what's going on?
How are we doing, Mike?
Good,
Nice to
good.
meet you out here in the wilderness.
So I hear you're a nomad.
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been out here for?
Well, we've been. This will be our fifth season in the desert,
Wow.
and we just live in the Class C RV all the time. But we go somewhere cooler in the summer, of course.
Okay. That makes sense. Following the weather patterns.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So it's been 5 years now. I think it'll be 5 years on June 4th. So it's coming up on 5 years.
Oh,
When I
congratulations.
bought the RV, and it's me and my son. He's autistic, and he enjoys it enough, but mostly he just stays in his little space and plays his games and does his internet.
Cool.
And we have a total off-the-road setup. I got 500 watts of solar on the roof and 2 lithium batteries, and we make about 1,000 kilowatts of electricity a day, and we use it. Sometimes I still have to start up the generator to get a little bit more.
So what was that moment that you had that just you decided I'm gonna take the leap of faith and I'm gonna hit the road, be a nomad? Was there
Mhm.
something that happened, or how did that happen for you?
Yeah, well, it was personal problems. Like talked to a lot of people, it is, and we got divorced, and I lost the house of divorce, and really didn't have any much money left, and so I was looking at this thing where everybody was hitting the road, and I said, well, I think I'll just do that too. Because I got enough money to buy the equipment to hit the road. I don't have enough money to buy another house. So that's what we did.
Cool, cool. And so, have you met any sort of challenges on the road? Like, what's the good times and the bad times? Give me one of each.
Well, of course, the worst times are breakdowns or flat tires or something like that. That's always a pain. It's hard to change a flat tire on a big rig. It's good to have somebody to help you. And I don't know. I can't think of any really bad times, except some places where you stay and the people around you can be bad. There's predators out there. They'll steal your stuff. It really doesn't matter where you are, but of course some places are worse than others.
Mm-hmm.
But the good times, I just like being in warm weather. So I come to the desert. I said I don't want to shovel snow anymore or cut grass, and I've met a lot of people out here, and that's always good. And I have people I keep in touch with and go back and see. There's even some permanent people that have trailers and stuff that they stay in all winter, and I can always count on them if something goes wrong. Try to keep up some sort of network in case things go bad on you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, do you have any passions, anything that you just love to do, that kind of keeps you going out here?
Well, I always try to play, even though I'm 72, I try to play. I have a big kite and I have a ukulele and I sing songs, and if anybody wants to listen, they can. And try to practice my ukulele every day. And I read a lot and I always have big ideas of what I'm going to do next, most of which don't come to fruition. But you're always thinking, what's going to happen next? So I don't know. That's about it.
All right, all right. So, last question then. For all the people watching that maybe they're thinking about taking that leap of faith out there and hitting the road, or maybe it's a completely different path, but they're going to change from one thing into another, and they're gonna do their thing. What would be your advice specifically for someone who wants to be a nomad?
Well, think about it a lot because everything changes. I think the best thing to do is imagine that you're living in whatever you plan on living in your van for a couple months before you even do it, because you're going to realize how you got to change your whole life. I mean, anymore, I don't even care about mail. My sister gets my mail with the mail I get, because it's just too hard to deal with it. I just don't. I don't need mail. If I need packages or something, I know some people that I can have it sent to. But I even got away from that mostly. I just go out and buy what I need, and the heck with trying to get things shipped. So that's one thing to think about, and every once in a while you got to be going out, and I have to go dump my toilets and stuff and get water, and that always has to be done, and it's just not there. You got to be thinking about water all the time, electric all the time, and what else do you have to do? And your toilet filling up all the time.
Of course.
So that always has to be a plan. You just can't skip that stuff because it's going to have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always thinking about that, and I don't know. I think otherwise, if I was just sitting in a house somewhere, I'd be more bored. That'd be true. But it gives you something to do all the time because you have to be thinking about that. But it is different. It's a total change in your life. I can't think of anything else right now that's hard about it because I've gotten used to a lot of it. Where other people would say, well, what are you going to do? And like when you try to go with the weather, but the weather's always changing, as we just went through here. It went from 90 to 50 in a couple hours, so there's big changes sometimes. It's a little too hot. When it hits 95 or so, I got to get up in the mountains and stuff. You got to keep moving. If you want to stay in one place, I don't know how you do that. I couldn't give you any advice on that because the weather, I go with the weather because I just can't deal with it. I can run an air conditioner. I have a small generator. I set up my air conditioner so I can run it off of a small generator. I bought one of those easy starts. And I can do that, but that's noisy and it's horrible, and you don't want to do that very long, maybe a couple hours a day. But you got to go with the weather. I don't understand people that think they're going to stay in one place in a van or something. I don't know how you do that. It's too hard.
Yeah. Well, Walt, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the time that you spent to come over and chat and do this interview with me. I wish you the best of luck on the road. You've been doing it for so long, so your information really helps me out because I've only been on the road for a short time, and I'm very thankful. Thank you so much.
Same to you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks. All right, that was great. I love Walt's story. One of the things I like about it best is that he was kind of at the bottom, right? I mean, he got a divorce, he lost his house, he lost almost everything, right? But he took what he had left and he transmuted it into this positive energy, and poof, into nomadism he went. And like so many other people, right? And I just love hearing stories like that. Like, it's almost like that rags to riches sort of story where you're just like down and out with everything and poof, creates something great. Now 5 years later, he's still out here, right? Going on 5 years. He's still out here doing it and doing it well. He's with his son. His son is autistic. So he's got a lot to think about too, right? And another thing that I really got into, in the end of the video, he's talking about, the things to think about if you were going to get into a lifestyle like this. And he's absolutely right? You got to think about your water. Where are you going to get that, right? Are you going to put solar panels on, or are you planning on plugging in all the time? Or, where's that coming from? Are you going to stay in one place? Because it gets pretty hot here in the desert. I'm not staying in the desert at 120 degrees. I can tell you that right now. That's not going to happen, right? Where are you going to dump your, right? What are you going to do with all this stuff? You got to think about those things. And if you're going to, kind of visualize what's going on, right? You know, are you going to live in a van? You're going to live in a car? You're going to live in a bus? You're going to live in an RV? You're going to live in a tent? You know, a combination of all of them? I mean, what is your life going to be like? And the need to go ahead and visualize that before you actually do it, and kind of create that mental plan and allow it to come to fruition. I really enjoyed that part of our conversation. So I can't wait to see Walt out there again. I know I'm going to. So yeah, thank you so much, Walt. I appreciate our talk both before, during, and after the interview. Really cool guy. So thank you. Now, until next time, bus life is not easy, but it is worth it. We'll talk again soon, guys. Thanks.